Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome back to Pepe. So today we are trading at 1321, and what is the story? What are we doing? It is consolidating for quite some time, and I think ever since you have pumped up, at least on the 5 minutes time from today is what I'm looking at, and you have this one little bit of sideways going on in there, which is very random, but I'm pretty sure nothing is random in crypto. There's always a story. You just have to dig deep a little bit more, because at some point you'll understand why is the consolidation happening, why do we have all these things going on. So let's try to do that. Let's try to decode what exactly is happening with Pepe. So I'm going to go and start the 1 hour time frame in here. So Pepe has been up, massive up to the upside. We've had a flag before, and I took this flag previously. This was a bull flag in there, and that's what we had with Pepe, by the way, and we kind of won Pepe on a Friday. So this, I don't think I have the message in here somewhere. So, all right, I don't remember if I can show you that message. But anyways, we had Pepe, yeah. Here it is. So I think it was this one right over here. So entry at 1165, and we took profit at 1370. So this was right here. You can see that this was 1155. Broke the flag in there, and we actually took the coin all the way to the target, and it really went to that bullseye 1371. Actually touched 1396. So that's how private is. And imagine that this was our stop at 1155. 1165 is the entry, and 1155 is the stop. This is almost less than 1% of a risk, right? 1% risk, less than 1% risk, and we won what? 17% out of it, right? So we're still in massive profit. Even yesterday we actually took bonk again, and we actually won bonk. We actually won bonk 6%. Now, when you have this sideways movement, especially on the 1 hour, I don't see anything really crazy. So let's turn down to the 4 hour. Now, to me personally, the uptrend is pretty clear, okay? The uptrend is pretty clear. Another thing is that the EMAs are touching right now. The 10 especially is being respected. So there is a good sign in there. What I can actually say, if Pepe's intention is to move up to 1600, there could be an opportunity in here. So I'm going to actually mark that price level. And there could be an opportunity, and that is below this candle, which is going to be a 5.7% risk, and that is 1251. So that's a big risk to take, but you have like 20% move coming up for Pepe. And to me, let's check probably the 15 minutes time frame and try to check if there's any support at the moment that could be a good idea to trade or enter. So I'm going to remove the EMAs right there for now. Okay, so let's take the trend line in here, and some people can say that the trend line looks like this, and what you can do is you can actually come up to maybe 1365, get rejected there, and then start to drop to the downside as well. Some people can actually say it's a range and we're creating the trend line like this. I would actually support this idea that this could be a range trap, and we could actually be supporting ideas like this. I think the trend looks more accurate this way instead of the first one that I drew. And the upper trend line is very tricky, because the upper trend line is not very clear. But I may say this, that this is pretty much what we have right now. So it's almost like a pennant that is coming up very soon. So this is how things look like. And in the next, so when is the decision coming up? I think the decision comes up until Tuesday 13. So in the next 2 days, we're going to get to know what Pepe actually does. In my opinion, this is how things look like, where you have resistance, rejection here, another rejection. We got some few supports in here, and which actually is interesting, because if someone now is looking for an entry, I think you can actually zoom in here and focus on this move down for an entry, which means that if you go down just a little bit, maybe to 1285, that can be your entry, and you can take it up and you can put the stop down right at the previous support of the trend line, right? So that's the best stop loss that's going to be, which means 1255. So it's safe to say that 1255 can be a good stop, and once you actually touch this trend line, you can bounce off that trend line and continue to go to the upper resistance of what I just drew for you right now, this little bit of a pennant that is increasing. So if you do go up to the upper resistance, at least short term, that's still 7.32%. That's still a good win, 7.3. And let alone the fact that if you break above and go to 1600, that's actually 24%. And you're risking 2.4%. So that's it for the video on Pepe. I'm going to see you in the next one. Love.